Imagine paying for a child's food, shelter, education, like their entire life.
Right.
And then, a judge looks at a DNA test after you die and just declares to the world, you two are legally strangers.
It's brutal.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into a Mexican Supreme Court thesis published on June 26, 2026, that completely upends that exact scenario. We are exploring a massive shift in how the law defines a word you use every single day, family.
Yeah, and the premise of this specific case starts with a tragedy, actually.
Yeah.
But it opens up this profoundly complex legal debate.
Okay, set the scene for us.
So a worker passes away, and his mother applies for labor benefits under Article 501 of Mexico's federal labor law.
Right.
She's applying for survivor benefits for herself, but she also files on behalf of a boy that she identifies to the court as the deceased man's son.
Okay, but the court orders a DNA test, right, just to confirm the relationship.
Exactly.
And the genetic test conclusively proves there is, zero biological father-son relationship between the deceased worker and this boy.
Yeah. And faced with the hard science, the mother confesses. She admits the boy is actually her grandson.
Oh, wow.
However, she really stresses that the deceased worker had acted as the boy's father in, every practical sense. And he had been entirely responsible for his financial support and his upbringing.
Okay, let's unpack this, because I have to play devil's advocate here.
I'll go for it.
Isn't the original judge kind of right to deny the claim? I mean, if the labor law specifically outlines survivor benefits for a son, and legally, biologically, he's a grandson, shouldn't the law be followed to the letter?
That is the big quote.
It's like saying a house isn't a home just because your name isn't on the original deed, completely ignoring who actually lived there and paid the bills. But still, does biology always get the final say? Doesn't blurring the lines open the door to massive fraud?
Well, that is exactly the strict biological interpretation the lower court used to deny the benefits.
Yeah.
But the child's representative fought back and filed an amparo directo.
Let's pause there for a second. An amparo.
Yeah, specifically Amparo Directo 673-2023. It's basically a constitutional protection lawsuit in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
It allows citizens to challenge a ruling if they believe their fundamental human rights are being violated. Because of this filing, the Collegiate Circuit Court reviewed the case and actually overturned the initial denial.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's fascinating here is they did this by introducing a framework prioritizing a consolidated family state over time. And they put that above strict biological truth.
Okay, so how does a consolidated family state work mechanically? It sounds almost like adverse possession in real estate, like squatters' rights.
That is a brilliant way to look at it.
Like if you occupy a role and maintain the property for a continuous amount of time, the legal title essentially transfers to you regardless of who holds the original deed.
Yeah.
But here, it's applied to family law.
Exactly. Occupying the role of a parent day after day legally establishes the bond. But to legally justify bypassing the strict text of the federal labor law, the court had to, pull rank.
Pull rank how?
They superseded the labor statute by citing higher legal principles, specifically the Mexican Constitution and the International Convention on the Rights of the Child.
Ah, so they used constitutional and international rights to override a rigid labor law. How did they apply those higher laws to this specific boy?
They focused heavily on the best interests of the child and also the right to identity. We often think of identity as a biological fact, right? Just a simple piece of genetic code.
Right.
But this ruling fundamentally reframes identity. The court argued that identity includes a political commitment by the state to protect actual lived family bonds and social realities.
So stripping away a child's support system just because of a DNA swab actively harms the reality he grew up in.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, identity isn't just biology, it's lived experience.
So what does this all mean? For you listening, it means the law is slowly evolving to catch up with how humans actually live. It is a legal recognition that time, financial support, and a shared reality forge a family just as strongly, if not more strongly, than DNA.
Yeah, but consider the ripple effects of this ruling. And this is something for you to ponder long after our deep dive ends.
Okay.
If the courts are now ruling that a socially consolidated family state overrides biology when it comes to labor benefits, where does this stop?
That's a good point.
How might this exact precedent soon disrupt and completely redefine strict inheritance laws or even international citizenship claims for non-traditional families everywhere?
It is a massive question. If the law is fundamentally shifting from what a family is on a genetic level to how a family actually operates in reality, the legal definition of family is finally moving out of the laboratory and back into the living room.